Hey guys, it's Linda and Anton with Coaching Hub here. We have an amazing coach that I've been following on LinkedIn for a while now, and we asked him to come interview with us, and he wanted to share some great tips. This is career coach Kyle Elliot. Kyle, say hi.
Hello.
Hey man, we're excited to have you, so let's get started.
So, Kyle, we wanted to bring you in today to ask you a few critical questions about coaching. If you could give me your favorite coaching tip that you would like to pass on to all of your future clients, what would that be?
I would say ask for what you want. There's a lot of studies that show a majority of people who ask for a raise get the raise, either that raise or some raise. Or personally, I'm a huge fan of if you want a job somewhere, reach out to someone who has that job and set up a coffee with them. So if I want to be a marketing manager at Facebook, contact a bunch of marketing managers at Facebook on LinkedIn and ask them to coffee. I'm currently working on some LinkedIn content for one of my clients. I manage people's LinkedIn accounts, and I like someone's LinkedIn content. And it's someone who's famous. And I reached out to her. I sent her a LinkedIn message. She has like 1 million connections, and I was like, she's not going to reply. Well, she sent me her personal email, and we're setting up some time to chat. So I think if you want something, you have to ask for it, because the only way to get it is to ask for it. And I do that all the time. At least once per day, I'm reaching out to some person who I think isn't going to respond. And the vast majority of the time, they respond. So I think if you want something, you need to ask for it.
I really like that. Yeah, ask for what you need and have the confidence and then repeat it to get better at it. You could tell us why you became a coach and whether it was because it's something that you are and it lives inside of you, or if you had an experience that led you to it.
Yeah, so I have always been working. So from a really young age at 12, I managed the ice cream booth at our fair. So I would go in at noon, and then until midnight, I would work at the fair for a week and a half straight. So I probably broke a lot of child labor laws, but I've always been working. As soon as I turned 14, I got a worker's permit and actually legally worked at a restaurant, a 50s diner where I lived. Throughout high school for several years, I worked 40 hours a week. And I've just never stopped working. And then on top of that, I've always been helping people. So at the ice cream booth, it was helping people. But as my career went on, I was helping people through counseling them, helping people with their resumes, different things. But people saw that I always had jobs, and they also saw that I loved helping people. So they're like, hey, will you help me get a new job? Will you help me with this problem I'm having? And the coaching started just as a side hustle. I did it on Fiverr, where you get paid $5 to help people, or I would do it for family and friends. And over time, I went from a side hustle to a business, to where just from word of mouth and people who knew me, I would have 20 to 30 hours a week of clients. So I think it's always something that's been inside of me, the coaching part. And then the business part was something I had to learn and something I had to develop over time. So I think it was a combination of both of those. But I've always had this knack for helping people, but I just didn't know how I would use it. I tried marketing, I tried fundraising, customer service, nonprofit management. And I feel like with coaching, I finally found it. I've been able to use my skills to really help other people figure out what's meant for them and what they should be doing with their lives.
That's awesome, man. Sounds like coaching found you. You didn't find coaching. It's just something that lives within you. And I love that, man. And it's not to say that the other way is wrong, but me personally, I have a little bit of a bias. I love people that just have that inside of them. You can't help it. You're going to the grocery store, you're coaching people there. You're having a family outing, you're coaching people there. I love that about you, man.
Yeah. I think when I was younger too, it kind of started. A lot of people that are coaches, they get told they're bossy as children, or stuff like that. And I think instead it's just, they have a lot of energy to help people, and it's just not pointed in the right direction. So I went from bossy to now people pay me to provide them advice.
The nice word for that is activator now.
Yes, activator. I guess I'm helping them activate their careers and their lives.
Love that, man. All right. So what kind of coaching do you provide? And, what's the high level view of your process? If you were to take a 30,000 foot view and explain it kind of high level to a potential client, what do you do?
So really high level, one sentence is I help people find jobs they love or at least tolerate. So most people, they're looking for a job they love, but for some people, a job is just a job. They want to go in, clock in, tolerate what they do, make a paycheck, and come home. So typically my clients are very short term, 2 to 3 weeks, and I help with the resume, the cover letter, the LinkedIn, and then a lot of confidence building. A lot of people don't feel confident, and a lot of people don't know how to tell their story. And a lot of that is, again, linked back to confidence. A lot of people, they just need help with job searching in general. And I describe the people I work with as A pluses, but they're presenting oftentimes as a B or a C. So we just want to make sure how they're presenting matches who they are internally, so that everything externally is an A plus as well.
Love that, A plus. So in the process you just described, if this is the vessel of your ship, right? And that's kind of, what is the end result, the destination that your clients get? How do you describe that? And how do you know that they got there?
Yeah, so usually it's with a job. So people are reaching out to me saying, hey, I landed a job. Or a lot of people too reach out to me because they like their job, but it's not that they're not loving it. So it could be they want a promotion, they want a salary increase, or they're working too many hours, or they have an issue with a colleague. So a lot of the people I work with are looking for jobs, but a lot of people also have a job and they just want to love it or love it more. So those are usually the 2 areas. And then I also do some life coaching. So people who like their job, but they need help with the areas outside of their job. So it could be a marriage or a relationship, a lot of time management, work-life balance, self-care. So people who come to me oftentimes originally for the job search, and they're like, actually, I like my job. It's the other aspects, and I'm just blaming it on my job because it's easy to switch jobs because I have control over that, and they don't want to address the other aspects of their life that they also have control over, but may take a little more deep diving into their soul.
I love that. I never thought about, and that's why I like these interviews, is that I learned something. I never thought about going to a career coach to progress yourself within your current job. I always think it's a job change that you would go to a career coach, but this is, how do I ask for a promotion? How do I ask for a raise? How do I position myself to make myself look good to my boss? That's awesome.
Yeah, I would say at least 90% of my clients currently have jobs. So everyone assumes, okay, how do people afford you? They're unemployed. Well, most of my clients have jobs, and they may be looking for a job externally or internally. They may work at a large company and say, okay, there's all these opportunities. Which one do I go for? Or it's a smaller company, and which opportunities do I go for? How do I grow in my current role? Okay, I like that I'm a marketing manager. I don't need a new title. Maybe I want a little more money and more responsibility. Or I like my job, but I want to work from home. How do I have that conversation with my boss? So I've had people hire me just for a conversation to say, okay, help me create this conversation, or what do I need to do? So it's often more than just find me a new job. So it's been cool to be able to help people and really solve that puzzle with them.
I love that.
So I have a question for you, Kyle. So let's talk about what kind of client are you the wrong coach for, and what qualities do you look for in the ideal person that you'd like to work with?
Yeah, so about, I would say like a quarter of the clients who have a consultation with, I end up letting them know I don't want to work with them. And it has to do typically with them not being open to change. So during that first 30-minute consultation that's free, I often give them ideas of what they could try. I ask, okay, have you tried this? Or what would you feel about trying this? And I give a lot of ideas. Some of them are really small changes, and other ones are huge challenges. And I do that to see how open they are to change. And the people I don't want to work with are the ones who say no to all of those, or say, okay, but, and they have all these excuses. It's okay to have strong values and morals. I look for that. And if you challenge me on stuff, that's fine, but I want to hear an alternative, or I want you to be ready to say, okay, maybe not that, but how about this? Or give me some reasoning. But when people just say, no, I don't want to try any of this, or I tried that, it didn't work, we're probably not a good fit, and they're not ready for coaching. And maybe therapy's better for them, or maybe a friend who's just going to listen and not give them constructive feedback. My ideal client is someone who's really ready for change, who's ready to take it on, hit the ground running, and has those strong values and beliefs, but is open to someone navigating the job search or a challenge with them, and is ready to take charge.
I really like that. Being ready and open for change has got to be there, because otherwise, you're right, they just need that friend that can be that counselor, or that person that can have that ear. I had a good chat with you, Kyle, and you said a lot of really great things that, for me, for what Anton and I are doing, it's you're definitely someone that represents our brand, and that's why we ask who you'd be the wrong coach for, because we want to know that people wouldn't just take on clients just for the sake of money, that you're doing it to help somebody.